Hello, Eitan. Give us some wild takes of you shouting Ima.
Ima! 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 Ima!
Leonard Cohen came to perform in the Middle East, and he decided to give all of his proceeds to an organization, and it's called the Fund for Reconciliation, Tolerance and Peace.
My son, my eldest son Arik, who was a soldier in the tank force, he was kidnapped and murdered by Hamas on July 1994. Since then, I put all of my efforts to try to find a peace solution between the Israelis and Palestinians.
So the fund is, the aspiration is to reach out to the other side, to reconcile.
For many years, Israelis and Palestinians have worked to try to establish peace between one and the other, but till today, there is no peace. Why? What's happened?
The fund believes that there's a basic reason why this conflict is ongoing, why no one has been able to really break through after all these years of negotiations. And that's that both sides, individuals and societies, have deep-rooted psychological barriers that just perpetuate the conflict. It's fear, it's mistrust, it's an inability to see the other side as a human being.
I'm just glad it stopped.
Yeah, I guess people figured out we're all the same, and we shouldn't be afraid of each other.
I presented a vision of what I thought the fund should look like and sound like and feel like. And as a part of that, I also presented, with the help of Shelley, a script called Two Boys, which was a story about friendship. So the boys in the script, they heard the same things from one side, maybe they heard different things from the other side, but thanks to some very special people, at some point in the distant past, they were able to put their differences aside and get to the stage where they can actually just be friends, just be boys. Children are taught things. Inherently, I don't think children are bad, and I don't think that they want to be violent. One of the things that they say in the script at the end was like, I would never want to drown you in the sea, and I'm not afraid of you. That's what a friendship is, you know. It's not being afraid.
The process of making an animation piece is really remarkable, because the vision for this was very strong and very clear. But then to see it being translated and to have a company from Brazil suddenly come in and give it their own interpretation, their own style, their own feeling, their own mood, and put it together was really remarkable.
And that's such a complicated issue, so many different takes on it, that our only possible approach to it was to go for the human perspective, an emotional point of view, because that's something universal.
Suffering is suffering, and pain is pain, and someone dying is someone dying, and the universal story is emotion, and not who did something the right way and who did something the wrong way. The human story has to be told.
A big issue with this project was trying to keep the balance. We're representing two sides of one coin, which is the conflict, which is the situation, which is the reality in this part of the world. And to be honest with you, it seems like no matter how balanced we try to get it, it really depends on which perspective you're looking at it from.
The most difficult thing on this project was from us here in Brazil to understand exactly what are the symbols, what are the images that really could touch people in the Middle East, that really are meaningful to them and translate the suffering of the conflict. After we did a huge research on the movies and photographs, then we did the shooting and received a lot of footage from Tel Aviv, from Shelley. And with illustrations, we start to build up the editing. And there was a long process. We have more than 10 versions. So we had to do a casting. We test more than 40 kids.
Meanwhile, the voiceover recording of the two boys was done in Israel.
And we shouldn't be afraid of each other.
No, I'm not afraid of you.
It was very important for us to choose boys that were normal boys. And our casting director, Eitan, auditioned 60 boys. And out of those, we chose the two that did a great job.
So you thought, okay, we have something going on here. So this is the moment where we split in two different teams. One team goes and paints the background, and the other creates the animation, the subjects that we have moving on the foreground.
It's important that you understand how you can animate this and what is the purpose of this, which you're doing. So I worked upon what João told me and what we had in the script, so try to build something with the illustrations and the colors that would fit the mood of that certain scene.
So we take that live action footage and we try to animate using that as a reference. So we capture little details of physical and facial expression.
O resultado final foi uma mistura de rotoscopia com animação tradicional.
Com um desenho mais estilizado, a gente ganhou mais liberdade de conseguir reinterpretar, às vezes, algumas cenas, acentuar algumas expressões.
Cada animador mergulhou mesmo na cena. Eu lembro as cenas mais pesadas, no fim do dia a pessoa estava triste.
We had great music in the form of Wicked Music in New York. Daniel and Vico did such a great job with their team.
Em termos de, sem dúvida, de todos os trabalhos que a gente fez aqui no estúdio até agora, é o trabalho mais importante, é o trabalho mais relevante.
You know that you're doing something that if you do it right, it will make a difference.
There is something about seeing this animation come to life. It pulls you in. You actually believe for a second that there's a way to get to that.
The little that I can do is to deliver a message where you shouldn't give up. So if everyone could do something, whatever it is that they do, whether it's communications, whether it's politics, whether it's business, in the name of making things better, then I really, really do think that we could get there. That's what this piece is meant to inspire.
I will say to the Israelis and to the Palestinians that both of them are right. There is reason to hate one the other. But again, what I would like to do we want to continue the hatred, the fairness, or we would like to stop it, or we would like to understand that the Palestinians are human beings exactly like the Israelis, to understand that we need to stop the occupation, to let the Palestinians to live, and to understand that the Israelis got the right to live here in the Middle East, and to stop all what's going on. It's craziness.
Let's go!